Hi, welcome to 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Chris, and today we'll be talking about comics getting released September 12th, 2018.
Right.
I get to start things off this week with the big two, starting with Marvel, Fantastic Four #2. So this is a return to Fantastic Four comics, the second issue of the return to Fantastic Four comics. We talked about how big the first issue is, and it's done really well so far. Probably to my dismay. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan. So we've talked about it before, so I'm gonna go past that into a new #1 out of Marvel that's a lot more interesting to me. Journey into Mystery, Birth of Krakoa #1. As World War II draws to a close, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos face a mission unlike any other they've ever tackled, and a menace that will haunt them forever. So this looks a lot of fun, going into Sergeant Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos, like S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, but after World War II, I like the time frame it's in, and there's a lot that they can do with that while explaining some of the backstory of Nick Fury. Moving on from there into DC Comics, we have House of Whispers #1 out of the Sandman Universe comics. An all-new corner has been added to Neil Gaiman's Sandman universe. Welcome to the House of Dahomey, the houseboat of Erzulie Freda, where the souls of voodoo followers go when they sleep to beseech the flirtatious and tragic goddess to grant them their heart's desires and counsel them on their futures and fortunes. When you arrive, you'll find a party is in full swing, filled with all kinds of fabulous and fierce folk, while fish fry and music blasts. From her bayou, Erzulie scries upon the mortal realm and sees 4 human girls open a mysterious and magical journal filled with whispers and rumors that, if they spread, could cause a pandemic unlike any the earth has seen. With the power to release Sapona, the Loa Lord of infectious disease and cousin to Erzulie, who is currently banned from the human plane, but even the fearsome Erzulie cannot be of assistance when her dream river turns tumultuous, tossing her house from the realm and into another. So it's a little confusing, but I like the premise, especially stuff being on the bayou. That's always fun.
Right.
Louisiana bayou, swamp people, old voodoo stuff. It's
Bayou.
interesting stuff. Moving out of the big two and into Dark Horse Comics, we have Seeds #2. In this one, in which a spaceman overshoots his mark, the Queen Maker arrives. The bees are fed up, someone is kidnapped, the American dream gets feral, the alien race is buried in the quicksand of love, and the secrets of the zone are revealed. So that seems interesting.
Yeah, Seeds
did
very
amazing.
well. Yeah.
And it is a short run, so that's an easy one for you to collect every issue. Moving on from there into one of my favorite publishers, Aftershock Comics, with Moth and Whisper #1. So this is a new series. Summary: everyone knows that the 2 greatest thieves in the city are Moth and the Whisper. Very few know the Moth and the Whisper disappeared 6 months ago, and what nobody knows is that the new Moth and Whisper are actually one person pretending to be both of them. One supremely skilled but uncertain young gender-fluid thief, Nikki, the child of the Moth and the Whisper. Nikki has been trained by their parents in the arts of stealth and infiltration, but they're still just a teenager, and now they're alone, searching for their parents in a hostile cyberpunk dystopia. Corporations run the streets, while crime lords like Ambrose Wolf run the alleys. Identity is a commodity, and privacy is impossible. The truth about Nikki's parents and their disappearance is out there, but can Nikki survive long enough to find it? So a young adult cyberpunk thriller starring a genderqueer super thief. Moth and Whisper is the brainchild of Ted Anderson from My Little Pony and Adventure Time, and Jen Hickman from Gem and the Holograms and The Dead, that just had to be told to Aftershock. So this is also a Diamond featured item, so not quite Gem of the Month status, but it is definitely one you're going to want to look into. It's got a very, even out of the modern comic wave, this is a little different than most of your
Right.
SJW like Shock Comics, and it's it looks to be have an interesting story to back it up. So we'll see what happens, because that's what really matters, is the story. Putting, as you can see with Marvel, putting just what they ever want to push an agenda doesn't really get the people going. But
Right, no.
if you create a story with it that fits, it's relevant.
Correct. Their own new characters instead of interjecting it in the middle of a storyline that's 50 years old. It's like, okay, buddy. Alright, moving on to the big one, Image. With their release of a new number 1, MCM-LXXV, written by Joe Casey and art and cover art by Ian McEwan? Anyway, meet Pamela Evans. Much more than a typical Manhattan cab driver, she also happens to be a badass monster fighter who wields an enchanted tire iron. Welcome to the year of her greatest adventure. Joe Casey and Ian McEwan team up for MCM-LXXV, modern mythology for a new generation. Looks pretty interesting. I like this. I like the storyline.
I like enchanted tire irons.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen with that thing. But it is a number 1 out of Image, so especially with an interesting storyline like that, you're gonna want to pick it up. Also coming out of Image, we have Cemetery Beach, number 1 of 7. Cover A by Howard. I guess just Howard.
Jason Howard.
Okay, Jason Howard. Yeah, there we go. It just says it up there.
Yeah.
Written by Warren Ellis and art and cover art by Jason Howard. From the creators of the acclaimed Trees graphic novels, which are currently being adapted for television, comes something completely different. A professional pathfinder, his only ally, a disaffected young murderess, breaks out of a torture cell in pursuit of his worst extraction scenario ever. Escaping on foot across a sprawling and secret off-world colony established 100 years ago and filled with generations of lunatics. Warren Ellis and Jason Howard ignite a high-speed new action serial. This sounds really cool.
Yeah. It's
really cool.
The Village meets crazy people instead of just
It's like the
hermits.
Village meets Idiocracy. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. So another number. It's a short run, so that's a tick. It's a good tick. It's a number 1 out of Image. It's another tick. Warren Ellis is a really good writer, and the story sounds really good.
And it's a offshoot of a series that's already
Right.
been in production for television. So if the TV show does well, this comic's going to do even better.
Right.
As long as it doesn't bomb like American Gods.
Uh-oh. Anyway, moving on. Also out of Image Comics, we have Aphrodite 4?
9.
9. Wow, I don't know my Roman numerals. Aphrodite 9, Ares, one shot. Written by Leon Glazer and Joanna Marsh. Art by Sarah Napin and Marco Renna, and cover art by Sarah Napin. All new one shot from Top Cow Talent Hunter winners. In this one shot, revisiting the 9th Generation series, a chance encounter with Aphrodite 9 makes a cyborg soldier risk everything to escape his cruel master's domain. So this is part of the Aphrodite series, of course. It's a one shot. It's easily collectible. You just need to buy one of them. It's already off of a successful series, and it's a number 1, technically, of 1 out of Image. So it's good reasons there, guys. And moving on. Again, out of Image, we have Crowded number 2. Crowded number 1 did really good, guys. Written by Christopher Sabella and cover art by Rose Stein, Ted Brandt. The $1 Million Reaper goal on Charlie Ellison's head keeps going up, drawing more unqualified and overarmed users to try to kill her and her bodyguard Vita, who desperately trying to keep her only client alive. When a sanctity of Vita's home is invaded and they have to find a new safe house, they're dragged through some dark corners and begin to uncover who started this campaign. So it's a number 2 from a successful number 1. So it's gonna have some good story additives to it to beef it up. So if you like Crowded 1, or even if you just have the money to buy the number 2, it's definitely a good buy.
Got picked up for a movie too.
Right, got picked up for a movie.
Out of 2 issues. So
Yeah. So
that's not a clue on that it's a kind of a big deal.
right.
Should probably pick up number 2. Don't think. No.
Moving out of Image, we are going to get some Boom Studios action going on with their release of Low Road West, #1 of 5. So it's a short run, guys. It's a #1. But it's Boom Studios, so the #1 doesn't hold as much weight as the Image. But written by Philip Kennedy Johnson and art and cover art by Flaviano. Eisner Award-nominated writer Philip Kennedy Johnson from The Power of the Dark Crystal and Aquaman.
Aquaman!
And artist Flaviano from America and Grayson present a new limited series. In the aftermath of a nuclear first strike that has left the East Coast uninhabitable, arguably, is it inhabitable? 5 teenagers are being sent west away from the wreckage that was once their home. Halfway through the Oklahoma Dust Bowl, the shuttle that promised safely has broken down, stranding them in the middle of nowhere with only one another to count on. Their only hope seems to be a town just on the edge of the horizon, but the closer they get to, the stranger things become. If they want to survive, they will have to learn to trust one another, and with society crumbling around them, trust does not come easy. Their only hope seems to be a town on the edge of the horizon, but the closer they get, the stranger things become. If they want to survive, they will have to learn to trust one another, and with society crumbling around... why did they put that twice? Okay, never mind. I'm saying the same thing twice. Trust does not come easy, guys. Just remember that. It's a Diamond Gem of the Month. So...
That is...
Yeah, this is from a reputable site, so...
Diamond.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a Diamond Gem of the Month, and that's just really all we need to know about this one. It's a Diamond Gem, and it sounds really cool.
I like the premise. Nuking the East Coast sounds good on paper. I don't know if I'd ever say it's a good idea, but on paper, no.
Yeah, like Fallout Miami coming out. Hey.
Modders. Anybody likes mods.
Anyway, finally, it brings us to the 9.9 no-brainer. Anyway, is it my week this week?
It is, and oddly enough, I'm like...
Yes, okay, this is a weird one. This is a weird one, guys. Bear with me on this one. Bear with me on this one. It just holds a lot of weight. Mystery Science Theater 3000, #1. So, is that of Dark Horse, and for all you geezers out there like me, I'm actually on the butt end of the geezers. I'm a young geezer. I watched this when I was a kid, and I watched the reboot now. I love this show. It's awesome, and the reason why we're picking this one, if it was not written by the original writer for the show, which it is, Joel Hodgson, then we wouldn't really care about it. But that holds a lot of weight. That's the guy, the creator of Mystery Science Theater, or one of the creators of Mystery Science Theater 3000, writing for the comic about it. It's a Diamond Gem of the Month. A little on it. The riffing hilarity of Mystery Science Theater 3000 comes to comics when Kinga Forrester pairs her Kingachrome liquid medium with her latest invention, the Bubblator. Jonah Heston, which is the new main character, human on the show, Crow T Robot, and Tom Servo find themselves thrust into the 2D world of public domain comics with riffing as their only defense. So they're going to be doing it for comics. Okay, I thought they was going to be doing it like movies on paper, but no, they're actually going to be riffing on comics. So that's a really good. I like that.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I feel a lot better about it.
I think this is gonna be a fun comic.
Yeah.
Because, as you're probably aware, there's a lot of comics that can easily be riffed on, and so there's plenty of source material.
Right, so I'm interested to see what they rip off of. But again, this is written and various others, I imagine the other writers of the show, or maybe some other comic creators, by Joel Hodgson, one of the creators of Mystery Science Theater, and art by Todd Newak and various others, and cover art by Todd Newak. It has a running Netflix series now, and it has a variant cover by longtime MST3K DVD artist Steve Vance. So it's kind of a niche comic for this week, but I mean it holds some weight. When I told Matt, I'm like, I think this should be it. He's like, no, why? And I gave him the reasons. He's like, yeah, those are more reasons than the others. So it just holds more weight than the other ones. And we don't wanna be prejudiced towards weird comics. If it's collectible and it has some reasons to be collectible, you want to jump on it. But that's
And I was caught completely surprised
right.
by this.
He,
So
he,
I,
came,
like,
he wasn't in
looked
on
over-
the. He wasn't. In
I wasn't
on
in
this
on
week's,
which one was going to be the no-brainer this week, so I'm looking over and I'm like, what? Like, I see it.
Yeah, but I brought you to it. I got you there. But that's it for the 9.9 no-brainer.
Alrighty, and for honorable mentions this week, we have Catnip Woman number 3, specifically the
Catnip
actor-
woman.
Yeah, Catnip Woman. Number
Big
3.
pupils.
Specifically the Art Germ variants. The run itself is doing well, but obviously you want the Art Germ covers. Infinity Wars number 3, Oblivion Song number 7, Farmhand number 3, She Could Fly number 3, Venom First Host number 3, Volition number 2, Weatherman number 4. X-23 number 4, as well as some more of the Cosmic Ghost Rider variants with Amazing Spider-Man number 5, which would be on this list probably regardless, thanks to Ryan Otley doing the art.
Right.
Fantastic Four number 2, Weapon H number 7, and X-23 number 4.
Thank you, Chris. And remember, guys, to always like and subscribe and dislike if you don't like it, which is probably not going to happen because we've gotten out of 67 videos like 2 or 3 dislikes, but whatever.
You know what? I'm gonna dislike it now.
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna-
I dare you. Make me sad. But thanks for watching, guys, and being so loyal and awesome viewers, and also being fellow collectors.
Fellow comic book nerds.
Right.
Nothing's better than when you get to like full on nerd out on somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun, especially when you go to cons and you get to nerd out to the creators, and they're just as excited about it. And you're like, yes, you're cool. Anyway. Before we go, remember to go to Space Coast Comic Con. That is this weekend, Friday today through Sunday. So if you just heard about it now, get over there, guys. It's happening.
It's gonna be a lot of cool stuff.
Yes.
The car from Supernatural, character from
The car from Supernatural is gonna be there. I didn't know that. Oh my god.
One of the characters from TNG. No, Voyager.
Voyager, yeah. Harry
Yeah.
Kim from Voyager is gonna be there.
Voyager's gonna be there. You've got a famous old school like 90s, early 2000s Attitude Era wrestler with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
So there's a
And
decent-
Carlos Navarro, who's one of the characters on The Walking Dead.
from the Kingdom.
Yeah, correct.
And he also is a radio host.
He's from the
On
Monsters in the
104.1.
Morning. Right. I've been listening to him.
So there's a lot of cool, unique guest appearances that you'll be able to take part in, as well as plenty of vendors will be there.
Right.
9.9 Comics will be there. Art with Dominic Perazzi will be there.
Right.
He'll have some special one-shots. Not one-shots, but like one-shot covers, one-of-a-kind covers that are only going to be offered there. So make sure you come and get those.
I don't know if we said it, but it's going to be at the Space Coast Convention Center. If you have any more questions, or if you want to know where the Space Coast Convention Center is, go on the Facebook at the Space Coast Comic Con Facebook page, or just Google it. You'll get yourself there. It's not hard to find.
And
But
with that, I think we should have a good night.
yeah, sure, fine. You have this one. You win.